Good hello, welcome to an onion skin stream. Today is Harmony 15 Day. Well, kind of. I've just gotten it. It came out yesterday, but I thought rather than pressing all the buttons on my own, might as well do it live and embarrass myself. So I'm probably going to do this a couple of times while I try and figure out everything that's going on and then make a proper review / how to do all the bits video. But yeah, I haven't really explored it at all, so this is pretty fresh. I thought it could be pretty fun doing it together or seeing what is around. So somewhere I've got the documentation on what is new, and I guess we'll kind of just go around and see what I can get working. Won't be a very long stream, probably a bit less than an hour. That's just as much time as I have before I got to go to work. But yeah, first things first, there's a bunch of new node stuff over here, a category called constraints. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new nodes that all have to do with constraining rigs. And I believe it's things like you can lock a foot to a floor. I have a feeling there might even be physics. This bit, dynamic spring, used to apply tension and inertia to an object based on its parent information, resulting in automated overlapping animation. It's a mouthful, but if that does what it says it does, oh boy, we'll be able to make some pretty cool stuff with it. So first, I'm going to actually need something to play around with. Oh yeah, there's nothing in my open recent because it's new. I'm going to go get my onion rig. The main one, that will do. Documents, I'll put it over here in case there's something NDA worthy. That's what getting seen. Skin tools, branding assets, I think. Where did I put the bloody guy? Where are you? Posable Onion Mark II. Yeah. There we go. Is the look harder to work or is it the same? It is the same except for bits added, so it should be fine. The most interesting thing to check out is going to be a feature called Master Controllers, which I thought was just going to be the pose copier with bits added, but I think it's way more complicated and even gives Anime Studio Pro's skeleton system a run for its money, which is pretty impressive, but it requires coding. So we're going to have to figure out a bit of, I think, JavaScript in order to figure out how to get that thing working reliably. Well, that's good. I've always wanted to learn JavaScript, and this would be the perfect incentive to just go and do it. However, I must remind everyone that TV Paint is still sort of my priority for the next couple of months. But this just came out, so I thought we might as well just have a look over it today, and then I'll keep cracking on with the TV Paint stuff, get that all out, and then probably come back to this. Anyway, hello everyone. I'm seeing the chat box starting to fill up now, so that is exciting. Maybe this is a decent time of day to do this. What time is it? I'll bring up all widgets. 9:30 in the evening in London and 3:30 in the afternoon in one side of the US, not so sure which. Do I work at a job around animation? Yes. I work full-time in a studio, which is why Onion Skin videos are not very frequent, because I have to do them in the evenings or on weekends. Oh yeah, that's one thing. I'm going to have to set up all the shortcuts and stuff again. For one thing, I'm a freak who likes to use Tomb Room Studio shortcuts, because all the buttons are on the left. Just all kind of grouped together, which is nice. But whenever anyone I know sits down at my computer, they get very frustrated trying to press 1 and 2 to zoom in and out, and I can't do it. Anyway, alright. So here's this guy. It's a fairly unusual rig, this character, because it's very simple, just for churning out minutes of footage at a time, because I don't really have the time to make anything super extravagant for a YouTube video. So you kind of just has pieces that sort of float. There's not really deformers and crap going on, so we might have to make something fresh, come to think of it. In fact, let's just try that. Get rid of all that, have a fresh drawing, and do... like, I'll be super simple. Like, I'll just draw one leg. There we go. Oh boy, that's not okay. Did you see that? Did you see that lag? That's insane. That is not okay. Oh boy, I hope that's not just my computer being old. Okay, the pencil tool seems to be a little bit more okay, but even then it was really polygonal. So I get so flat around the edges. But the brush seems to be consistently... Oh boy. That sucks. I'm trying to see if any of the things in old versions that used to cause that to be a thing are active, but they are not. So I don't know what's going on. That's not very exciting. I'll make it a better color. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Not even selecting is zippy. So if this is starting to become more taxing on the computer, that's it. It's probably a problem more unique to me than anyone else because my computer is 7 years old. I got it in 2009 and it still works, so I haven't upgraded it. I feel like technology sort of plateaued a little bit, so I haven't needed to. Anyway, here's a leg. Let's put a bone in it. Hopefully curve deformers will work with whatever we're about to do with constraints and crap. Now remember, I have not read any of the documentation yet. I'm going in completely blind. Let's see what happens. And if I'm clever enough to figure out any of this on my own. I'm not! But maybe something will happen. Dynamic spring, 2 points constraint. Which one should we try out first? It's like Christmas morning. So many new toys. Transformation limit. Limits the extent to which a parent transformation is applied to its child nodes based on percentage value. Transformation gate selects transformation inputs used to what extent based on percentage value. Okay. Multi-points constraint. Use the pivot of any number of pegs as anchors to squash or stretch an object. And that's very interesting. That might have something more to do with the master controllers where individual points going around a curve could probably be set to a percentage meter? Maybe? I'm so excited for the text bitmap textured brushes. Yes, that's a good idea. I should muck around with those before I go. I'm spending too much time doing nothing of benefit right now. Does it cost extra to upgrade? If you've got a monthly subscription, no. That's the benefit of having the subscription, is that the upgrades sort of just happen. If you have a perpetual license, the good thing about that is, oh, once you've paid for it, you have it forever. The downside is you don't get the upgrades. You have to pay an upgrade fee. Anyway, let's try plugging crap in and see what happens. Oh, there's an idea. What if I just bring them all out into the field and have... Oh, they're all like olive coloured. That's cool. Oh, that one's... I'm getting excited by their colours. I have simple needs. Excuse me, new nodes and new colours. If I could recolor them to whatever I want, then I'd be thrilled. Constraint switch, static information, multi-point switch, 3-point constraints, dynamic spring. Alright. So, I'll just bring this down here so we've got a bit more room, unpack it. Man, I hope that lag thing isn't a consistent problem. For anyone else who decides to give this program a crack, let me know what your experience is. I'll be very fascinated to see if it's just me or like freaking everyone, and they're gonna have to rush a patch. Right on the page. Try all. Like, as in all the new features. Let's see how much I can get done in 30 minutes. Okay. Transformation gate. I wonder what that means. It looks like some sort of composite. Static transformation, multi-point constraint. I guess I'll just try putting them in and see what changes. We're probably going to struggle to see anything that changes right away because I'm going in completely blind. And it's not the best way to learn a program. But I've done it once before successfully when the light shaders first came out, and that was like there was no documentation for it yet. So I was like, oh, I can get a video out before literally anybody, including the people who made it. So that was a cool feeling. But I don't use it very often, so I sometimes forget and have to refer back to my own video. Anyway, static transformation. Okay, cool. Let's just do that first. I think I'll just select each one and see what options we get in layer properties. Okay, so transformation limit. So this looks like it's to do with make an arm bend to a certain point that it can't bend any further, perhaps? Active local target gate, default gate. Okay, leave that one for now. I really want to figure out the one where you can make lock a foot to a floor. Like that's why I drew a leg. And then as we try and move the rest of it around, the foot will stay planted and sort of bend at the knee and junk like that. That is apparently what it does. So that's really, really exciting. But I might be getting a little bit ambitious at assuming I can just leap in and figure it out by myself with no outside documentation at all. 3-point constraint. Wow, that thing looks complicated. Allow 3D transform, translate, right. 2-point constraint. Distance, allow 3D transform type. Primary port. Dynamic spring. I think this is the physics one. I want to try that one. Again, no idea how it works or how you're supposed to make it do something. So what do we put in? Dynamic transform, static transform, and a switch. Good thing it has those little helpers. So I guess now we sort of just Lego it together. So dynamic transform, is there one called that somewhere? Nope. Static transform, nope. Wait, no, there's one. Static transformation. So that goes here. Dynamic transform, is there one called that? I haven't seen one. 2-point constraint. Don't think so. Ah, switch. So constraint switch goes in there. So I guess that's also what goes in this one and this one because it's the same color. Dynamic transformation. Dynamic spring. So wait, that's what we're already using. Okay, so maybe the actual bones go in that one. Let's try that. Ah, come on. Golly, it's not very zippy, is it? So I guess I'll put the bones into this or something. And watch as nothing happens. Oh, something's sort of happening. I mean, it's not locked to the top offset anymore. But I think that's just because I broke it. But in a perfect world, it seems that once that's working, I'll be able to pick it up, move it back and forth, and the leg will just like flop back and forth. Like with physics. How cool is that? That's awesome. Missing out some comments. Perspective tool 2, yes. Where's that? Let's find the perspective tool. Oh man, so many features, so little time. What a fun release. There's things that we can actually use and not just 3D bits. Alright. Where would that grid be? Would it be up here? Maybe. I have a feeling it's going to be one of these top options. That's just a guess, but let's have a look. Go on to customize and see if there's any new features in here. Some of them have slightly different artwork. Auto gap is bigger. Convert strokes to lines. That's all looking pretty samey. Can't see any new ones. Except for the paint bucket buttons being bigger. It's possible it's just been included as a script. That's what the post copier was last time. I have a feeling it's an actual button somewhere though. I was expecting it to be near the grid. You know, this button here. But press another button and it will get depth and junk. So I wonder where that is. I wonder how much Essentials has compared to the more expensive versions. It has enough. So it's got more bells and whistles than Flash does. But I pretty much always recommend starting with Essentials because there's quite a lot to learn there. And then when you get to the point where you feel like you're outgrowing it, upgrading to Premium is really easy because everything's exactly the same, but now there's bits added. And you can just learn the new stuff and the transition's really straightforward. Did they give Essentials more brush types? I think so. I've only downloaded Premium so far, so I'm not sure if it has more, as in what the crossover is feature-wise. Oh, come on. Behave yourself. And I really need to set this thing up to have the way I like my windows. You can go there. You can go by. Alright. Let's try this friggin' texture brush. Crazy wappadoopity. Circle, diamonds, and squares. That's new. Smoothing has its own tab for some reason. Transparency, tooltip, paper texture. See, all this stuff was here last time. Was paper texture here last time? I'm not sure. I'll make a note of that. These, I'm pretty sure were here last time. Or was that only bitmap brushes? Maybe those are the bitmap brushes. Because the whole point is that apparently this time there is bitmap brushes inside a vector brush, which is pretty nuts. So let's, come on, turn on. Seriously? Are you not doing a thing? Hardness on a vector brush. That's really cool. Just that would be nice. But how do I turn it on? It's not doing anything. The checkbox is grayed out. Oh man. Constraints in 3D apps usually have to do with linking transformation of multiple objects. Yes, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. But I'm not a 3D guy. I'm really amateur at it. Essentials doesn't have the node view. No, it doesn't. Just basic bones, node deformers, and basic effects. That's right. Yeah, so it's enough to animate with. And, you know, if you have anything Adobe, you probably have After Effects, and like then you're fine. You don't need Premium. I hope I'm not paying $2,000 again. Nah, like you're fine. If you paid perpetual, then just stick with what you got until you really need to upgrade. The master controls might be worth upgrading, but again, you got to learn JavaScript. So I'll learn it first and tell you if it's worthwhile. Maybe it'll work properly when it's opened in the exec form. What? Oh, this is, yeah, Mac version. Can you open older projects in 15? Yes. I want to upgrade. I'm still working on my current project. Yes, that's fine. Be aware of like bugs and stuff though. Like that's just upgrading any software. Usually when something works, something else might break. Hi, Greg. You're in the house right now. I hope you're not using up our bandwidth and clogging up my own stream because you're watching me outside right now. I did write down directly to Boom. And they gave me that. Okay. It's amazing how they overdo their selves every version. It just changes the whole industry. Yes. They're pretty good. So I hear there's rasters finally as opposed to only vectors. If true, that removes my desire to get TV Paint. I respectfully disagree. They have had bitmap brushes for quite a while, but they are very basic. It's simply that they exist. What's changed now is bitmap textures within like vector constraints, which is what I'm trying to get working right now, but it's not doing it. But it's still, there's no way we'll have the versatility of TV Paint. Like that is a very, very intense way that all of its brushes work. It's quite cool. I'll see if it will open, and that's not what today's about, but I'll show you anyway. All the colors will blend and mix and warp and do all sorts of insane things that I don't think any other program can do. Yeah, it's not really comparable. It's a lot more from a traditional standpoint. 2D Paint has a lot of brush marking, blending, like actual painting. Yeah, so this program, like the brush is key, king rather. So look at this. This is a flame brush. That's pretty wicked. And then like paint over it and see how it kind of like blends and warps together. That's pretty insane. And here's this brush here where it kind of like makes a sample. But see how it sort of like mixes things together. Like if I got like a blue here and just kind of color over it, see that like it looks like real paint. It's awesome. That's crazy cool. So everything about TV Paint is focused on how the brush does things. Like even the lip syncing is done with the brush. You put all of your mouths into a brush and then stamp them into place. Whereas Toon Boom is it's fundamentally just built from a different place. It's a lot more from a technical, a lot more from a data perspective. Like once you learn how all of these numbers and parameters and things work, things start to make a lot more sense. But someone's mentioning OpenToons now. That is a lot closer to this one, where it's more from the data parameter end. Like I was able to pick up OpenToons and just sort of figure it out fairly comfortably. I was like, oh, I want to do this, and then I would fairly quickly find the button that would do what I wanted it to do. TV Paint, I've really struggled learning it, to be honest, because it's coming from such a different approach that like no knowledge was transferable. I've just had to kind of swallow my pride and just start completely from scratch, just reading the manual and practicing it. And you know, that's why it takes so long for videos to come out, because I really underestimated how tricky it would be for someone with a purely digital background to get their head around it. But I think once it's done, that's going to make it all the more valuable for, you know, for there to be videos of it. Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of mistakes. Sorry, I start thinking Toon Boom get changed because they need to work on those. OpenToon seems similar to the 3DS's Flipnotes too. TV Paint feels more neutrality for me since I haven't tried working with Animate or Toon Boom before. Yeah, there you go. So especially if you like whatever program you learn first is probably going to be the one that you'll fall in love with, I think. Like I see that a lot with Flash users that attempt to use this one. They struggle just because they like where they've come from. Anyway, what was I going to try next? What was the other thing? Were we going to try and do perspective backgrounds? I couldn't find that. Let's try an easy one. With there's thumbnail frames. So how do I turn that on? There's a button here. Ah, there we go. That's cool. So yeah, that's nice. Little timeline thumbnails. Hopefully doesn't lag things up very much. I really want to get those texture brushes working. I don't know why that box is grayed out. What's this one here? Show manipulator around a curve or offset points. That's a new button. I'm going to go into this. There's something in here with bones. The contours around him have bones. These default settings do in my head. There we go. So this is how I make the guy rotate. I don't think there's any rotation animation in there at the moment, but oh wait, maybe there is. Let's go further down the timeline. The look for this is a little bit different. The keyframes are just a bit bigger and easier to see. Okay, so it's not working in sync, but normally when he turns, these bones will sort of shift to the side that give the illusion of rotation. But what's this button do? Nothing. I'm going to select. Come on. Stop being a butthead. Oh, come on. This is why you don't do things live when learning something new, because you embarrass yourself and not know how to do things. Reveal bones. Wait, there's a switch. Okay. Show manipulator around curve and offset points. Nothing's changing though. Okay, so that doesn't even turn on in build mode. It's strictly an animation mode thing. I'll get back to you on that one. Currently trying to learn Flash Animate since completely failing at using it last year. It's going a bit better now. I'm glad it's working for you. So is there any degree of 3D you can do with this, especially if it's Essentials? I tried making 3D perspective floors, but could never do on Essentials 14. Yes. Full 3D integration is a thing. You can import a few different 3D file types, I believe. Making a grid should be possible as well. You could just like draw a grid and then rotate it in 3D space. But apparently, somewhere hidden in this new one, it's like a Where's Wally puzzle. There is a perspective grid. But where the heck is it? I don't know. Like, that button's not doing it. Hang on, let's start a new drawing first. New drawing. Oh, it's red now. Red instead of pink. Oh man, that brush is not okay. That is not okay. Okay. Well, you can't draw to the grid. There's no, like, I know there's a snapping to it, kind of, but where would it be? Where would it be? Where would it be? Come on, mouse. Let's just see if there's anything new in here. View, from there, insert, maybe it's around here. Bone camera, comment drawing, group, combining output, particle, keyframe. No, they look pretty similar. Oh, familiar rather. Drawing tools, surely. Contour editor, sample, smooth editor. Repositional drawings, small thing, line, rectangle, polyline, paint, repaint. Nope. Clean up, paint, convert, optimize. Now this all looks pretty samey. Nothing really different here. What if I type in grid? Grid, outline, overlay. No, these are all the old grid. Type in perspective. Wait 7 centuries for it to catch up. There we go. Drawing tools, perspective. Maybe. Perspective view is what we want. Maybe it's that. Oh wait, yeah, that's just the perspective manipulators. No, it's not that. What does the website call it? Guides and vanishing points. Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking in the wrong place. Guides. Okay. There's a new window for it. Animated map generator, metadata editor integrated. Okay. Guides. Number of lines. Ah, here we go. Okay. New 3-point perspective grid. Bird's eye view. Alright. Wicked. Now we're getting somewhere. Well, guys, no. How do I... Why are these grayed out? One's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, isn't it? Ah! Square grid? Can I do the thing now? Why isn't it appearing there? 2-point perspective. So there's different options. What does this button do? It's the only one that's not grayed out. Enable guide, yes. Turn on and give me my bird's eye view grid, please. You can live there. But where is it? I see no guide. Does it appear in drawing view? Nope. Still can't change the number of lines. Still no view for it or anything, no pull down menu, no other options. Okay, getting so close with a lot of these, like I can see the feature there, so tantalizingly close, but then can't use the bloody thing yet. Grab the vanishing point and move it around. Wait, was there a vanishing point? Did you see one? Maybe if I press, yeah, get rid of the onion. Don't need him right now. What if I press show controllers? Will it appear then? There's nothing here, man. What do you mean, grab the vanishing point, move it around? Can't see it. I'm on a flash dog who desperately needs to learn new tricks. Oh, well, you've come to the right place. Finally, I can do more dynamic action shots. Yeah, once we figure out where the button is, let me know when you find it, yeah? The lines on the screen are what it should snap to. Grab the VP and place it, and then the other lines around. Wait, so you've used this thing already? Oh, you've seen the other thing. Right. Yeah, the field chart has always been there. But this is something else, which isn't quite cooperating yet. Maybe we need the actual perspective view. But I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that's still just... Yeah, that's not giving us anything. Oh well. Anyway, I'm starting to run out of time, so let's do... What was I going to do next? I've forgotten already. There's the mats and masks. Oh yeah, that's one thing that actually works that we can try. The new masking system. So before, when there was, you'd use cutters and crap, right, to make masks and things. But now, apparently that's just built straight into the layer. That's kind of neat. So I'll get to... This is my color panel. Everything's wrong. Get where you're meant to be. Okay. Default, new two colors. Get a blue and a green. Whoa! Okay, hang on. Is this all we needed to do? Look! Whoa! Okay, it's... I think it is drawing with perspective now, maybe? It's got 6 points coming out of it? What's going on? What is this? Is it drawing to the perspective? Ah! Look, all of these things are active now. So let's... Hang on, I think I'm going to draw on the... Yeah, the pencil view seems to be a lot more responsive, so I'm going to stick with that for the time being. But number of lines. Can we... Let me see it. Ah! Ha ha ha! Here we go. Progress. Cool. That's pretty neat. So it's all going down towards a vanishing point here. So I can pick this up. Put it there. So what's it this... Oh, that's a horizon. Ah. Whoa! That's funky. Okay, so what was happening that was wrong is I was trying to put this thing into just a completely blank space. It needs an empty drawing, which is the same as the grid itself. Sorry, like the field chart grid. So just make an empty drawing just by drawing in it, or you can press the empty drawing button and then the grid will appear. And now it seems that every stroke I do is going to snap to that thingy. That's pretty fun. And then I guess I can switch to this and get a 2-point perspective. Ah, isn't that nice? Draw crappy buildings. I wonder what these other switches do. Full cursor display. Okay, that's fairly self-explanatory. Lock things. Enable guide. Enable guide with eraser. Oh, okay, yeah, that's all fairly straightforward. Anyway, so now that mystery's solved, I wanted to show you the mask thing. Show you. Experiment with and find out what the mask thing is also. So turn that off. I'm just going to do a... Oh boy, that's... Until I figure out what's going on there, I just can't use this program. Okay. Two overlapping circles. So before I'd use a cutter, but now if I get this thread and just hover it over the left-hand side of the box, a little mask symbol appears. And there we go. So this is working a little bit differently to the cutter, I think. Where, yeah, it is working differently to the cutter. Let's see how different they are. Ugh, the cutter looks different now. It's got the mask symbol just sort of there. Okay, yeah, so there's the difference. So the cutter will simply eat away, like whatever you put in the left, it'll eat away from the main shape. But if we ditch that and just go straight into the drawing itself, only the overlapping section is revealed. And I wonder if it has any... Oh, okay, there you go. Double click it and it will invert. So with that in mind, put the cutter back in and try inverting that. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So cutters are the opposite of a mask. That's time-saving, I suppose. Personally, I'm not sure how often I'll use this because cutters so often appear after a composite, where I'll have several drawings all going into one, and then the cutter will be after that. So putting it directly into the drawing itself, I'm not sure. I'm sure it will have its uses and places where I'm glad it will be there. But right now I can't really see it as being a thing beyond streamlining, rather than there being actually brand new possibilities with it. I just wanted to say that I love your channel. Oh, thank you, Amanda. And that I hope you continue to make more animation analysis because I don't know any other channel who does that. Yeah, I really like Between the Frames. Like, there's tons of show and analysis programs on YouTube where they kind of like break down shot structure or story structure and things like that. But I hadn't seen any that literally go down to a frame-by-frame level. So I've always really wanted to get to a point where they're coming out every week, but I've really struggled to do that while also working full-time. Or even when I wasn't working full-time, just doing freelance, I really struggled with it. But unfortunately, the old tutorials have been neglected. So I guess if you're watching, I'll just do a little bit of a channel update now, if I may, because it's relevant to what we're talking about. I've got one more Read Between the Frames coming out probably today, like probably tonight, probably maybe about 12 hours it should be out. And here's a sneak peek. Can you tell what it's about? That will be, I guess, like a little season finale, if that makes sense. I'm going to take a bit of a break from Read Between the Frames for probably about a month or so. Maybe two. Yeah, no guarantee that I'll be back after a month because I really need to focus on tutorials again. That's what the channel was about when it started. I haven't done any in a long time. A lot of people are waiting when there will be new ones. And I really tried to balance both, but it just really wasn't that practical. So it seems like it's either one or the other, if I'm perfectly honest. So, bit of a break from Between the Frames. Try and catch up on tutorials, rehash old things, and kind of just get the roots of what the channel is back to where it's supposed to be. And then if, you know, a really good theme for a Between the Frame episode comes up and I just be like, oh man, I just got to make this now and do it in like a day or so, then yes, I'll do that. Yeah. So I hope you understand if there's anything that you like that won't be appearing for a while. But I have a feeling that people will probably be okay with it because I tend to sort of just vanish and not really upload for months and months at a time, which is not good YouTube etiquette at all, and I don't really seem to get many people getting angry, so you're a very supportive bunch. I'm rambling. Anyway, how do you recommend bringing Photoshop characters? As in bringing Photoshop characters into Toon Boom? Just export and import them. There must be a setting for intersect, add and subtract, probably. I'm not sure if it's as useful as the color, yeah, neither. Have I shown master controllers? Not yet. I really want to. I can show you where it is, inside the MISC section. Here it is, master controller here. But it requires scripting to work. And I don't know JavaScript, so it's a bit of a... You know, there's not really much I can do with it yet. But... Hacking... And then I'll be like, look, it's coding brackets. Look, it's tags. So... Works with that somehow. We'll find out later how. What's with the video quality of the stream? Is it... Yeah, good question. Is it okay? My video quality is usually pretty lousy because I'm in Australia. Australia's internet is really bad. Hey, it's Tom Barkel. What are you doing here? I'm gonna go to work. Anyway. What was I doing next? We did masking. I think there's one more thing I wanted to look at. We got grids working. We got masking working. We haven't gotten texture brushes working yet. But maybe it will just magically work now in the same way that the grids will. Nope. Still grayed out. Why oh why? Okay, textures for strokes, they haven't changed. It's just a brush thing. What's the deal? What's the deal, program? Maybe it's just... Oh, hang on. Solid vector, textured vector. That's got to be it. Yeah, there we go. I'm an idiot. Which one should we try? I'll choose this one. Nice. Alright. Bigness. Alright. You go away. New frame, please. Okay. So, oh man, that lag is awful. I really hope there's a fix for that. It's lagging on just scrolling windows and junk. It's not good at all. Can I plug masks into a color card? Oh, I can. That's nice. Okay. So here's a texture working on a vector stroke, or a vector brush rather. So I'm going to try and mess with its edges, see what happens there. I'm assuming it will only... Oh, it doesn't. Okay. So I believe this is the innovation. Is up until now, if you put a texture inside of a brush, it was simply like a masking border. So you could do something that sort of looks like this, but when you would move these edges or move it in, it would just cut it away. You know, it was just a mask. But look what's happening now. As I move these edges, it is constricting and expanding along with it. So now we get a huge amount of control out of bitmap strokes. But are they interactive? I'm assuming not. So this is where people were saying before, like, oh, do I still need TV paint? This is the difference. These strokes are, you know, they're still separate. And it doesn't really look like they will blend and just become, you know, stuff. So this is really nice for... It depends on the animation you want to do. You know, there's so many different styles to draw in. How do you want to draw? this is a lot more technical. Like, it'll look nice if you want a kind of a clean look, but it's also more clinical. You'll probably spend more time working with these vector points and stuff like that. It's like what I'm doing at work at the moment is very specific with vertices. Like, every single point needs to be in the right place. It doesn't really feel like drawing. It's more like construction. But TV Paint is, you know, for the most raw of artists. You only ever want to draw. You look at vertices like this and you're like, that's boring and stupid and a waste of my time. I just want to draw things. So that's what that's about. But with these two things overlapping, what I'm very curious to see is what will happen when I flatten them. Ooh. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it would break it. But what if I expand it now? Well, it's still... Wow. That's... Ah, haha. Yes, I knew I could break it. Take that. Okay. But it's still very impressive, isn't it? That it isn't just constrained to the brushstroke itself, but it's an entire perspective warping region thing. Wow. I'm very impressed. Oh, you'll be able to do all kinds of things with that. Oh, 480p is not too bad. That's like the best quality stream I can get. I don't think I'd even allow it to get any higher than that, because it'll just get chuggy and it starts lagging out. This is probably the most consistent stream I've had in months. I don't tend to stream very often because half the time the quality is so bad that I just have to stop, which is very disappointing and probably very irritating to those who have notifications on. You know, get told that I'm streaming, drop what they're doing to turn it on to find that I'm already gone. Yeah. Okay, so anything else there is... I saw like a... some recoloring stuff. I know I saw something to do with gradients or masking or something like that. I'll have to have more of a look later, I think. Probably not going to be able to find much more now, but texture brushes are working. That's cool. So pretty much everything we set out to try today, we succeeded at, which is good. At first we're looking at it all being like, how does this button do thing? And button could not do thing. But now button does thing, which is wonderful. The only thing that's not doing thing, because it's a little bit of a, you know, just being able to plug it in and expect it to work, is this stuff. So I'll probably do a bit more research on that, and we'll probably reconvene. But I quite liked doing a stream in the morning. I think if I do one again soon, we'll mix it up. We'll move back and forth between programs, but there'll definitely be more of this nature, where it's just kind of experimenting and making stuff. I think I'll probably be back here tomorrow because I'm hoping to get a TV Paint video out late this week or early next week. And where I've gotten to in my stage with learning it is like I read the manuals and I press all the switches and see what they do. But that only ever gets me so far. What I need to do is actually make something. Have a whole project from start to finish in this program and really look closely at all the problems I hit along the way and how to solve them and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and I think the best way to do that would be together. Yeah. Anyway, I have to go get ready for work. I have no idea if any colleagues are watching, so they'll know why I'm late today. Anyway, so thanks for coming, everyone. I hope you're as excited as I am for this release. I want to keep researching. Yeah, there'll be a video out in a few weeks on everything I find on how this thing works. But there is a lot of documentation on the actual Toonboom website, so you probably don't need me this time around. Let me know how you go. Take care. Thanks for coming. It's been a lot of fun. Bye.